Hello. So my vlog today is going to be my August favorites. So let's just get started. Um, First thing I'll start with is this journal that I bought. It's one of those Peter Popper Press ones with like the gold lining and the marker. And I think it's a Persian artwork scene on the front. And I haven't started using it yet because I'm really particular with my journals. And I got this great idea from the Daily Connoisseur about investing in journals because if you write important things in there and keep it forever, you want it to be good quality. So I was always kind of buying cheaper journals before, but what's the difference between like a $5 or $6 journal or a $15 one? And then it's that much more beautiful. So I haven't written in it yet, but I do love to look at it and I am excited about breaking into it. So that's my first favorite. My second is, this would be Bartholomew Bear, and it is a purse. I think it is intended for children. So, you know, that doesn't bother me though. I'll wear men's clothing, I'll wear women's, children's. It's not that I'm transgender or anything. It's just that, you know, I don't feel like I have to fit into society's categories so much. So it doesn't bother me to be wearing a children's purse. I think it's really cute and it fits great. You see inside, it fits keys, cell phone, wallet, mirror, all that perfectly. So I usually will put a tote bag in here so that, or bring a tote bag as well, so that if I have to buy things while I'm out, because it obviously can't carry like groceries or anything, but it's a very good little purse and I love it. So the next favorite would be this body spray, which I think is kind of going viral right now. It's the Brazilian Crush Cheriosa Rio Sol de Janeiro. And this is the pistachio and salted caramel, which I think is their like original or most popular one. It says it has top notes of pistachio and almond, mid notes of heliotrope and jasmine petals, and dry, or I don't know if dry means bottom note, but vanilla, salted caramel, and sandalwood. And I would definitely say that it smells like summer. It's very much like a very good summer August scent. But also because it's quite warm, it will lead into fall well, I think, too. So I've used, you know, about that much, a good amount. I usually spray myself with it about 4 times, at least every day, sometimes a couple times a day. So it's lasting well. I'd say it's not as strong. Like when you first spray it on you, it's very strong for the first 5 minutes or so, and then it fades to like a more warm vanilla scent and will stay there at that scent for the rest of the day. Like you can smell your arm later in the evening and it will still have traces of the vanilla. So it doesn't last strong all day, but it does last all day. And then another favorite would be these scrunchies. I have 4 of them. These are silk scrunchies that I ordered on Amazon from Lily Silk. I'm not sure how they're connected there, but it did show up in Lily Silk packaging, although I did order it on Amazon. So it was a 4-pack for $32. And I saw that just one, like a big scrunchie, is $16. So the other scrunchies are like, this one's a little bit smaller, a little bigger, and then gets up to the big fluffy one. So they do range in sizes. which I find really useful because I can use the fluffy one for buns, the smaller ones for pigtails, that kind of thing. And I do find myself wearing my hair up a lot more often now that I have these, because there's like, I treasure them. They're so beautiful. And I guess, so my book of the month would probably be The Compound Effect. I've written some notes on it. So I listened to that on audiobook. So some of the key notes that I picked up from The Compound Effect is that it's really talking about how the compound effect is always in effect, where whether it's, you know, whether it's the little bad habits that you do every day that add up, or the little good habits that you do every day that add up significantly in the future. It kind of is stressing that little things can have big results. So even though it seems like nothing's changing at the time, give it time. And like, it's like a diet. Like, if you give it time, you'll slowly lose the weight, but you're not going to lose 20 pounds all at once. You're going to lose 1 pound. So, and then 2, and then, you know, so, there was an interesting little story about how if you had a choice between doubling a penny every day for a month, it shows the compound effect or a choice of $3 million now. So you could wait 30 days and double your penny, or you could get $3 million now. It actually turns out that in the end of 30 days, you would have 10 million. So that's how much it builds up. And if, like, it's a good example of how much these little habits build up and have an effect on your life. So I love learning about habits and routines. I'm reading the book Tiny Habits right now. And this one really stresses the importance of habits and the long-term effects of them when they are multiplied. So it was a good book. The one thing I got from it really was the tracking your habits. So I've started to write down like certain things I want to keep track of, like how much water I drink in a day or what I'm eating. And then it's not easy to track them every day. You forget. But if you keep going and don't get down on yourself for forgetting a day, it makes you more aware of how often and when you perform the habit, whether it's a good one or a bad one, and can make you a lot more aware of your choices. So yeah, the compound effect I really enjoyed, and I would recommend it. The movie of the month, I want to say The Haunted Mansion, because I saw that in the theater and I loved it. And I really thought that was going to be the one for the month, you know, the best one I've seen. And then just at the end of the month, I saw this movie with my boyfriend on Prime, and it was called The Whale. And there was a lot of buzz about it with Brendan Fraser gaining all that weight. And I've got to say, it kind of reminded me of The Sopranos in that it doesn't really speak to me. It's not like, doesn't have anything to do with my interests. I mean, it was about a severely obese gay man who abandons his daughter, leaves his daughter and wife for a man, and who has like a severe eating disorder and is essentially slowly killing himself because his lover died. So it's a lot to take on, and he's not exactly a winning character, but literally we did not pause that movie once. We watched that movie straight through. It was fascinating the entire time. It moved so fast. And there was this one point where, in the beginning, where they're kind of trying to establish that he's an overeater and that this is a sickness for him. And it was obvious you know, by the way that he was binging, and that he's not taking care of himself, and that he is slowly trying to kill himself. For some reason, I just thought, I'm gonna like this movie when they were establishing how, because they really showed the addiction, like the need for the food, the sickness, the making yourself sick. I think everybody in a way can relate to that. Everybody's probably overeaten a little bit at some time, but not just for people who overeat, but for anyone who has that kind of weakness that they can't stop, whether it's they can't stop spending money or they can't stop. It really did a good job of capturing that bizarre mind frame that a person is in, and the sickness. And I thought it was really well done. So I'd give that one a 9 out of 10. And then I also read the book Anne of Green Gables, which I've read before and I love. So I can only recommend it because it's such a sweet little book it's a lot like Little Women, where it has morals, and is old-fashioned and very good intentioned. And then for foods, I've really been enjoying watermelon. Probably eaten like 10 watermelons this month. I'm not even kidding, between me and my boyfriend. And yeah, so the watermelon diet has been really working for me because it fills me up. And it's not a lot of calories though. So yeah, I've really been enjoying the watermelon. And then I guess that's about it for faves. And then I have 2 fails. So one would be the dining experience I had, where I went to Red Robin with my mother. And I used to like Red Robin because it was kind of like, it had all this kitschy pictures, Hollywood, like that kind of thing. But it's really turned into almost a fast food restaurant now. Like, my mom said something that was so true about the restaurant and the meal. She said, we could be at A&W right now, and it would be significantly less money. Like, in Canada, where I live, an A&W meal can cost like around $10 to $12. Whereas with tip, the burger that I got from Red Robin's was $27. $27 for a burger and fries. I mean, I don't like going out so much anymore because you don't get the best quality and you're paying hand over fist. So I was really not impressed with the quality or the price for what I got. It was very average. And I shouldn't be paying $30 for a burger and fries. So neither of us were very happy with it. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the decor was like, it had that layout of like a fast food restaurant. It didn't have levels. It didn't have quality, textures, furniture, things like that. It wasn't a restaurant. It was like a fast food building, like a building you sit in and eat, not a restaurant. And then the other thing I've got to really say I'm not happy with is this Timeless serum. So I think I ordered this back in like June, and end of June, and I started using it in July. But really, I was only using it like once a week because my skin is so sensitive, and I only introduce things very gradually. So it seemed okay. So I bumped it up and increased it to daily use. And around the 3rd or 4th day that I used it, and I was especially putting it in places where I had pigmentation, because vitamin C is supposed to help with pigmentation. Like, I was running it all over my face, but mostly in concentrated areas if there's a little bit of hyperpigmentation on my cheek. So this caused like blistering. Like, I had 7 blisters on my cheek here. which was extremely frustrating because I'm already self-conscious about the marks there and trying to get rid of them. And then on top of that, you get 7 more bubbles. So I immediately stopped using it. I cut back on all of my products, only used soap and tretinoin and rosehip oil. And I was so concerned about it leaving scars behind that I increased my tretinoin. I used to use tretinoin only about once a week, but I've increased it to every 4 days now to ensure that this doesn't settle into anything. So it kind of turned out to be good because now I'm using my tretinoin more often, so my skin's looking even better. And none of them seem to last or leave any kind of mark behind of the 7 blisters. So, like, not blisters, but, you know, like they were bumps that weren't quite pimples, but what were they? They were just like 7 bumps I had on my cheek. So, yeah. I'm not going to be using the Timeless anymore. I am happy that I'm using tretinoin more often. And maybe I can do a tretinoin journey because I have been on it for about 1.5 to 2 years now, and kind of talk about that in another video. Let me know. Otherwise, that was my favorites for August 2023. Take care.